Is that better? I think so. Now I've got little green lights flashing. I plugged the wrong bit into the wrong bit. It's okay. Okie dokie. So it's 10 o'clock. So I'm going to begin. This is a yoga for all class. It assumes that you enjoy a slower paced class, and it's suitable for most people. So please remain discerning with your practice, and if there's anything that feels uncomfortable, then come out of it and wait until you can see your yoga teacher or me face to face, and we can go through it. It may well be that you've gone too far, or it might be that your body isn't quite ready for where I was suggesting to go yet, and you need a variation. Okie dokie. So this morning I want to talk to you about releasing blame and releasing shame. This is a really profound step on our journey towards a freer, easier and happier existence. And it begins with ourselves. It begins with looking deep within and forgiving ourselves for some of the blame and the shame that we carry around with how we behave towards others, or whatever it is, how we behave towards ourselves. And then we've probably got some wounds that we are carrying from our past. And so if our tendency is to always look back and pick at these wounds, to look back into the past, then it's really hard for them to heal. And maybe they'll never heal, but what they can do is they can lose their potency, they can lose their control over us. And one of the greatest skills that yoga teaches you is to be present. Yoga and mindfulness also teach you to create a little bit of space in your life, and a little bit of space that occurs between stimulus and response. So it's as if you're witnessing your thoughts, and you have this space and this time to review attentively what is coming to you in any moment. And then because you have this awareness, you can choose. This is the privilege of being human and awake. You can choose where to rest your attention. You can notice your tendencies to fall back into memories or projecting forward into the future with attachment or with avarice. You can notice that, and you can drop back into the present moment. You can drop back into your body. You can drop back into nature, and then these habits will lose their potency, and you'll be free and lighter and able to grow from that place. So our practice is going to be very gentle this morning, very gentle indeed, and just give you the time and the space to explore this deeply. Okay. So I think we will begin by sitting. So if you need a cushion or a blanket or a yoga block underneath your bottom, then just take that, please. And you can kneel, or you can sit cross-legged. You can take any easy, comfortable seat that you prefer. And then let your sitting bones drop down into the floor. Feel that release in your lower back. And maybe just drop your weight towards the back of your sitting bones. Feel the front of your body charge to hold you there. And then take the weight slowly forward towards the front of your sitting bones and feel your back charge to keep you there. And then come back and rest in the middle. And as the seat surrenders down, rise up through your spine. Close your eyes. Notice your breath. Let it come and go. And don't force or strain. Just watch. Learn to be attentive to the moment. Self-compassion and forgiveness are our greatest virtues. Let us live from a place of non-judgment and release blame towards others and ourselves. Blame and judgment are just the ego's tricks for keeping us stuck in an illusionary world of fear. The past no longer exists. The present is our opportunity for growth and healing. Releasing blame is a fierce commitment to self-love. Exhale. As you inhale, reach your arms slowly up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, stretch through into your fingers. Stretch beyond your limited beliefs. Heighten, get taller, heighten your awareness. Take a deep breath in, reach taller still. Bringing the hands together, exhale. And let's draw down into the love that dwells in our most silent place within. And we'll chant one Om together. Take a lovely deep breath in. And breathing out, release your hands down to your knees. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, drop your chin towards your chest. Inhale, bring your head to the center. And breathe out and lift the gaze. Inhaling the head to the center. Breathing out and dropping the chin towards the chest. Inhale, head to center. Exhale, lift the gaze towards the ceiling. Inhale to the center, and as you exhale, look to the right. Inhale, center. Breathe out, look left. Inhale, center. As you exhale, pull your chin back. Inhale, take your head forward. Exhale, pull your chin back. Inhale to the center. And exhale, drop your right ear towards your right shoulder. Pick your right hand up, rest your right hand on your left temple, and let your right elbow gently drop away. And we'll breathe. And then we'll release the hand down and inhale and bring the head to the center. And breathe out, take your left ear towards your left shoulder. Left hand comes up, resting the hand on the right temple. Let the left elbow drop away. Space in the right hand side of your neck. Be passive and yet awake. Release the hand and inhale and let the head come back up to the center. And then we're just going to circle your heart. So freeing up your back, roll in a circle. And just ask yourself, can I be more present? Can I be more awake and more attentive to what is happening, rather than the attention resting in your projections for the future or in your memories? Can I be more present, more awake, and more attentive to what is happening? When you've been one way, then go the other. And then we'll be still. Inhale, we'll lift the arms up towards the sky. This time we'll clasp the fingers together and turn the palms away. Inhale, stretch up. And exhale and release. Come over onto your hands and your knees. And have your feet nice and wide apart. Inhale and walk your hands back in towards your knees. Come up onto your fingertips. And exhale and roll your heels down towards the floor. And you might want to just go backwards and forwards over the toes. Just and then we'll just let the heels ground down towards the floor. Walk the hands in, keep the knees bent and hang your head. Hands come around the opposite elbow. Spread your toes wide into the floor. And then roll your weight in a circle around the soles of your feet. So soft in the back of your neck. And then we'll go around the other way. And then let's come to stillness. Release your hands. Keep the head hanging, knees soft. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, let your tailbone drop. Scoop through the lower belly. And roll up bone by bone. And come to standing. Inhale, roll the shoulders up by your ears. And exhale, take the shoulders down, the back body. Now I'd like you to find a wall if you can. A door works really well. Shut the door and make sure no one's going to come through. And then you're going to take your hands to the wall, about bottom height, hip height. And you're going to take your feet underneath your hips. Spread your toes wide, feet hip distance apart. Doesn't matter, you don't need to move your mat over to the door. And then look at your hands, check that your hands are shoulder width apart. And press down through the index finger and through the thumb side of your hand. And extend from your inner elbow into your index finger, into your wrist. Bring your head to neutral between your arms. Wrap your outer armpit down towards the floor. And push from the heels of your hands to your bottom, to your hips. Now with your legs, lightly lift up through the kneecaps. Try not to hammock the belly and the heart. Try and keep a little bit of support. So scoop in and up through the lower belly so you maintain a lovely wide back. On your hands, pull from your little finger to your outer wrist. Connect with your breath. And be awake. Awake to the alignment of the body without straining. Keep the face soft. The breath deep and nourishing. Feel the pads of your toes down into the floor. And remember the tool for releasing and dissolving and disempowering blame and shame is to be present. Holding yourself in a little space in front of the thought. Okay, and then bend your knees and inhale and slowly but surely come up. Come back to your mat and step sideways on your mat and walk your feet out underneath your wrists. And I want you to bring your fingertips of both hands to the solar plexus. So the solar plexus is at Manipura chakra. It's about 3 inches above the belly button. And it's just in here. And this is where blame and shame reside. It's bile colour almost. And you're just going to close your eyes and rest your fingers here. And you're just going to say to yourself, I see you. I hear you. And I release you. I see you. I hear you. And I am ready to release you and let you go. I see you. I hear you. And I am ready to let you go so that I can be free and light. Slide your hands down to your hips, elbows back. Inhale, lift the chest, look up towards the sky. And hollowing the abdomen, come forward, slight bend in the knees to protect the back. And take your hands to the floor. Sliding your left hand underneath the very center of your chest. Push down through your left hand and inhale and lift your right arm up towards the sky. Take your head back. You can be up on your fingertips if you need to. And we're stretching and we're extending and we're moving beyond our self-imposed limitations. Breathing in and breathing out, the hand comes down. Right hand to the floor, and as you inhale, lift your left arm up towards the sky. And take a snapshot of yourself in this moment. And see if you're present. Am I being patient? Am I being loving? Am I being attentive and accepting? Take a deep breath in and breathing out, the hands come down to the mat. Slide your hands behind you, float them towards the sky, and clasp your fingers together and lengthen into your knuckles. And exhale and slowly bow forward. Check into your tongue and into your jaw. Passive and yet active all at the same time. Loving the arms deeper into the work. Loving the spine longer through the breath. And then we'll inhale, soften the knees and pull ourselves up through our arms and come to standing. And exhale, and once again taking the fingertips to the solar plexus. And just taking a moment here. And acknowledging what it is that we hold here. And then release. Walk your feet together. Hang on, I'm just going to take my top off because I think it's getting in the way of the microphone. There we go. Okay, so standing on your mat, feet together. Tadasana. Bring your hands together and inhale and lift your arms up towards the sky. Spread your toes wide, lift up on your fronts of your thighs and drop your tailbone down. Drop the pubis, the tailbone and the two sitting bones down and let the pelvic floor lift up. Squeeze your arms in beside your ears and really lengthen up. Be attentive to the opening in the shoulders. Look straight in front of you. Breathe. Inhale. Exhale, hands come down. Notice the way that you've crossed the hands, which finger is in front, and then slide the other hand forward. So you've crossed in the unfamiliar way. Inhale, lengthen into the knuckles, reach the arms up. Press down from the inner knee into the inner heel. Lightly lift from the inner knee up into the groin. Let the bones around the pelvic floor drop down. Align your crown, your heart, and your pelvic floor and create a subtle connection between your lower ribs and the top of your hip bones. Allow your back to be wide. Squeeze, lift. And then exhale and release. Hands come to the heart. Inhale and reach the arms up towards the sky. And exhale, flow forward over your legs. Bend the knees if you need to as you take the hands beside the feet. Inhale, take your right leg back and drop your knee to the floor and look up. Hold your breath into the press up position. And exhale, the knees, the heart and the chin to the floor. Inhale, glide your heart forward, collarbones wide, elbows bent as you lift your gaze and your heart. Turning the toes under, push back, float the knees back, and come into downward facing dog. And it may well be that you need to bend the knees this morning, and that's fine. Create a nice straight line from the heels of your hands up through your armpits and up into your hips. Hang your head. Wrap your outer armpit down towards the floor. And we'll breathe. And it's as if the inhalation is fanning the flames of our attention, burning away the distractions, burning away our habits of drifting back into old memories, picking at old wounds. And then we'll come high on the tippy toes and look forward. And with an in-breath, step the right foot forward between the hands and drop the back knee to the floor and come into a gentle lunge looking up. Strong into the right foot as you step forward, breathing out and bowing towards your legs. And then we'll inhale, lift the hands, lift the gaze, lift the heart, strong legs pressing down. And exhale, draw your hands to your heart. Inhale, the arms reach high, look up. And breathing out, bow forward over the legs. Inhaling, the left leg comes back. Gentle stretch in the groin and the thigh. Holding the breath back into a press up position. Exhale, the knees, the heart and the chin to the floor. Inhale, glide your heart forward. Look up. Exhale, turn the toes under and press back to the dog face down. High on the tippy toes. Inhale and step the left foot forward between the hands and look up. Exhale, right foot comes forward and you bow. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, draw the hands down to the heart. And so when we are feeling wounded, when we are living with blame strong in our system, then it's as if we're living in the solar plexus. We have that pit of shame in the solar plexus, but what if we could move our awareness up into the heart? So I want you just to take some really lovely deep breaths here. See if you can shift something. Breathe it out. Allow yourself to heal. Acknowledge that you would like to be lighter and released from these emotions. Inhale, reach the arms high. And exhale, bow forward. And we'll walk the feet back. And bring the big toes together, come high on your tippy toes. And take your knees wide, point your toes behind you, and drop your bottom back towards your heels. Try and suck the outer ankle towards the inner ankle. And then walk your fingers forward. Now we're just going to let the elbows rest on the floor today. And the forehead soften down towards the earth. If the forehead can't come to the earth, then you might want to use a block or a couple of books underneath your forehead. And then breathe and just be. Practice to help yourself flow through any lingering self-blame. In this moment, with your eyes closed, center into your innocence. Forgive yourself. And awaken into your loving center. Let the sensations in your body bring you back into this moment and be curious about the sensations. Active attentiveness exploring through the body. Now, if you have been overambitious and taken your knees too wide and you're feeling this too intensely in your groin still, then be kind and draw your knees in. Just 0.5 centimetre on each side will make an enormous difference to your comfort. Okay, so from here, inhale, look forward. And exhale and come and lie upon your belly. Have your feet hip distance apart and let your heels just drop out to the side. And come onto your elbows just in front of your shoulders. Press your palms into the earth. Thighs heavy. And lightly pull your heart forward. And then we're just going to rest here. You're going to give yourself this moment in this shape, keeping your neck free. Thighs heavy, heels dropping out to the sides. Deliciously present and holding a quiet silence for yourself in which you can heal. Try not to let the chin surge forward. Just gently control that tendency, lightly pulling the front of the throat towards the back of the neck. Don't be impatient. Notice where tension begins to creep in. Take a deep breath in. And on your out breath, slowly come down. Take one hand on top of the other hand under your forehead. Take rest. But always remaining working with your attentiveness, with your capacity to be present. And then take your right arm out to the side and take your left hand underneath your left shoulder and bend your left knee. Breathe in. And breathing out, roll to your right. And let your left toes come to the floor. You can be up on your left fingertips if you like. And just gently stretch into that right adductor. Not adductor, what am I talking about? It's deltoid, anterior deltoid. That's the problem when I practice with you. Mind goes vacant. Hopefully your right temple can just rest on the floor. If not, you can put a cushion underneath your right ear. Breathe in. And breathe out. Release. Come back onto your belly. Right hand underneath the shoulder, left hand out to the side. Bend your right knee. Come up on your right fingertips. And as you exhale, roll to your left. And the right toes come to the floor, or the right foot comes to the floor. Right knee lightly opens. Again, if you need a cushion underneath that left arm, left head, then by all means, then just lightly press one there. And take a nice deep breath in. And then breathing out, rolling onto your belly. And take your hands under your shoulders, legs together, push up. We're going to come into balasana, into the pose of the child. So if your knees are tight, then you can put a cushion underneath your bottom between your feet. If your ankles are tight, you can put the cushion underneath your ankles. On your hands and knees, take your left hand in front of your right hand. Take a lovely deep breath in. And exhale and gently drop back. And just stretch through your left waist here very passively. Perhaps feeling this in your left shoulder. If you can't get the right forehead to the floor, you could make a fist with your right hand and just rest your forehead on that. Keep sinking the left hip away. Inhale, look forward. And exhale and come up. Take your left hand underneath your left shoulder and your right hand in front. Breathe in and breathe out and gently soften back. Forehead towards the earth. And practice patience. If you're used to leaping about your yoga mat, then just see how perhaps this slower practice grates a little bit on you. You don't like being slowed down, being asked to be more present. It's much easier to fill a wounded mind with lots of busyness, distracting it, trying to distract it by being very, very busy. But actually, when we're asked to be slower and stiller and quieter, then it's harder to ignore what it is that we're holding on to inside. And the silence and the space begins to force us to acknowledge that the work has to be looked at. And we'll inhale and look forward. And exhale and rise up. And let's cross the ankles and come to sitting. So you're going to take yourself back to your wall or your door or whatever it was, wherever it was that you were working. And you are going to work with Vipariti Karanana, where we take the legs up the wall. So it helps if you start with your hips against the wall and your shoulder against the wall, so that when you then roll back, your bottom is close to the wall and your legs go directly up. And you want to be able to feel, ideally, unless the hamstrings are really tight, ideally you'd like to be able to feel the sitting bones even against the wall. If you can feel one more than the other, then you've got a little bit of wriggling to do. And look down your body, try and ensure that your spine is in a nice straight line with your spine is exactly perpendicular 90 degrees to the wall. And then you're going to just lightly reach the balls of the feet up, just slightly higher than the heels. Spread the toes. And then you're going to bring one hand to the solar plexus and one hand to the heart. Let the back of the head feel really heavy on the floor. Connect to your breath. Deep breath in. Breathe out and roll your right chin towards your right shoulder. Rest here for a moment. Don't force. Passive and yet alert. Resting and yet active. Inhale the head to the center. Exhale, chin over towards the left shoulder. And then inhale and bring the head back to the center. Draw your feet down towards you, soles of the feet together, knees drifting apart. And then clasp your fingers together. Inhale and reach the arms up towards the sky. And exhale and take the arms behind you. Let your waist widen down into the floor. And let's make the arms active. So draw the little fingers in slightly closer to the top of the head as you stretch the thumbs slightly further away. So you're stretching from the little finger side of your palm towards your thumbs. Outside edges of the feet press against each other subtly. And there's an opening, there's a release in the groin. Check that your head is in the middle of your arms. Have you brought one arm closer to you than the other? Do you need to slightly adjust that? And then release. Slide your hands down to your knees. Bring your knees together. And then roll to one side. Just pause for a moment. And quietly come back to your mat. Okay. So, lie down on the floor. Take your feet wider than your hips and take your arms out to the side with the palms facing up. Take a deep breath in. And breathing out, roll on the soles of your feet, take your knees to the right. And if you want to, only if you're really comfy here, you can pick up your right foot and rest your right foot on the outside of the left knee. So much space. Again, just taking a snapshot of yourself in this moment. Be aware and attentive to where your mind is, what your body is doing. And then release your right foot underneath your left knee. Inhale, bring the knees back up to the center. And exhale, take the knees over to the left. Pick up your left foot, rest it on the outside of your right knee, and gently drop the knee down. If that's uncomfortable in any way, just keep the left foot underneath the right knee. Okay, release the left foot underneath the knee. Inhale and bring the knees back up to the center. Re-straighten your spine down the mat. Bring the knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a little hug. Any little movements that feel nice, enjoy them. Each loving gesture like this is a little moment, a little gift of self-compassion. Honoring the very simple and yet very deep calls for self-care that your soul has been whispering its requests for. And I said to my body, I want to be your friend. And it sighed and said, I have been waiting for this all of my life. Take your arms to the inside of your legs and reach and find your feet. And then you position your legs are nice and wide apart, the knees able to brush down the side of the body, and the ankles are just above, perpendicular to the floor. And you keep as much of your back on the floor as is comfortable for you. And then gently use the weight of the arms to provide a release in the hips. Of course, the hips is where we hold on to fear. And blame and shame are simply tools of the ego that keep us locked in fear. For the ego doesn't want us to be free, to be liberated. It wants to keep perpetuating its little story of me and I and separateness. And yet liberation and freedom and yoga, these show us moments of sweet union. When we know our intricate connection to nature and the universe, to each other, feeling each other's care and kindness, feeling each other's pain. And then we'll release. Gently take the feet down to the floor behind your bottom. Slowly walk the feet away from you. And let's take Tardagi Mudra. So bring the arms beside your body with your palms facing down. Squeeze your legs together and press the inside edges of your feet together. Squeeze your legs towards each other. Let your head feel heavy on the earth. Take a lovely deep breath in. As you exhale, hollow the abdomen and press your lower back down to the ground or towards the ground. And it's as if you're making a bowl with your belly so that the animals from outside can come and drink the rainwater from the pool that becomes in your belly. Inhale. And then exhale and release. And take your legs apart. Let your feet relax out to the sides. And take your arms away from your body with your palms facing up. Take a lovely deep breath in through your nose. And exhale with a sigh through your mouth. And again, deep breath in through the nose. And exhale with a sigh through your mouth. And take rest. Sweet, unashamed, unburdened rest. Let your body deeply rest. And if you still blame anyone for any aspect of your experience, breathe into your solar plexus and observe the impact that blame has on your body. Release, forgive him or her and yourself. Blame is just a huge power loss. See through your thinking. Release the blame, soften its charge, and be free. Let your body rest in that opening and freedom. Taking a long, slow, deep breath in and out of your body. Bring some subtle movement back into your toes and into your fingers. Enjoy a lovely stretch. Bending your knees, roll over to your right hand side. And bring yourself slowly to sitting. Inhale and bring your hands into the prayer position above your head. And let's draw our prayer of healing and forgiveness down into our thoughts, into our conscious awareness, into our words, both internal and external. And draw it down into our hearts. Chanting one Om together. Inhale. Namaste. Great work, yogis. Thank you very much for joining me this morning. Can I ask you to do me a favor, which is if that you enjoyed this class, can you do the funny little thumbs up thing that appears at the bottom when you log out? It just helps with computer and YouTube type algorithms, and it means that perhaps more people can find my teaching, which would be a good thing at the moment. So just a reminder then, we have our live classes now for the rest of June, and then the classes will go onto the Patreon site from then onwards. I hope you have a really lovely day, and yeah, it's nearly the weekend. Cool. Take care, dear ones. Bye-bye.